Turkey is becoming one of Europe's fastest-growing EV markets. Solar and wind are booming. Diesel car sales have collapsed. And all of this is happening while Turkish democracy has been moving in the opposite direction. Turkey may have one of the most unexpected climate transitions in Europe. Back in 2010, Turkey's electricity system looked very different. Almost half of the country's electricity came from gas. Solar power was basically non-existent. Wind supplied just over 1%. Fast forward to 2025. Solar alone now produces more than 10% of Turkey's electricity. Wind is also above 10%. Together, wind and solar now generate more than 1/5 of Turkey's electricity. Meanwhile, gas generation was cut roughly in half. That does not mean Turkey has solved climate change. Coal is still very large. In fact, coal generation is even higher than it was in 2010. But the overall direction is still remarkable. A country many people associate with political instability and economic crisis is also rapidly building renewable energy. And then there's the car market. In 2019, diesel cars dominated vehicle sales in Turkey. Electric vehicles were almost non-existent. By 2026, diesel's market share had collapsed from more than 50% to around 8%. At the same time, electric vehicles surged to nearly 20% of new car sales. And in the month of April, battery EVs already reached 20%. That is an extremely fast transition. Part of this momentum comes from Togg, Turkey's domestic electric car company. The Turkish government wanted to build a national EV industry. And so far, the strategy seems to be working. This matters because electric vehicles are often seen as something only wealthy Northern European countries can adopt quickly. Turkey suggests otherwise. There are also quieter changes happening outside electricity and transport. Turkey has become one of the global leaders in geothermal heating. More than 100,000 homes already use geothermal district heating systems. And while many older buildings are still inefficient, newer construction standards are improving insulation and energy efficiency. When you put all of this together, a very unusual picture begins to emerge. Turkey's emissions per person are still rising over the long term. The country is not yet following the same emissions decline seen across much of Europe. But Turkey's emissions per capita still remain below the European average. And unlike many countries in the past, Turkey is industrializing while also scaling up renewables and electric vehicles. That makes Turkey's transition messy, contradictory, and incomplete, but also surprisingly fast. And maybe that is the most important lesson here. The clean energy transition is no longer limited to wealthy and politically stable countries. Even in places facing economic and political turmoil, the shift toward cleaner technologies is already underway. Thank you very much for watching. As you can see, Turkey's e-mobility transition is fast. However, it is not the fastest. If you would like to know which countries are leading the global EV transition, I recommend watching this episode next.